So what we would say in terms of website appearance is you've got to think like a newspaper, even National Enquirer. You have to have a headline. If you check out later after this call, benglasslaw.com, you'll see we have a pretty provocative video up there. You know, this video has been approved for injury victims in Virginia. We've got a sort of against the grain headlines that say basically, if you've been hurt, you may not need a lawyer. Before you talk to a lawyer, sign any forms or talk to the adjuster, get our free stuff. You need to think in terms of a headline and a graphic or a video that will get them to stay long enough to be able to start to say to themselves, oh, these guys, they are experts or they know what they're doing. Then, in all the marketing, so what I just said applies to a newspaper ad, a yellow page ad. It even applies to radio or TV. Think of headline, keep their attention, and then we want to make a trade. So what I really want to have happen, Sean, if someone is at my website and they are, in my case, an injury victim in Virginia or a malpractice victim in Virginia, I want to know who they are. And the best way for me to know who they are is to make a trade. So in our case, what we teach, and a lot of lawyers now in Great Legal Marketing do this, is we make an offer of a free download of a book, a white paper, a report. There's any number of those things at our website. So you could, on this site, if I was rebuilding this from scratch, I'd have a video from you. Hey, this is Sean. You're in the right place. If you or a loved one feel they've been mistreated in a New York nursing home. In fact, one of the questions you may be asking is, what's the process for bringing a complaint about the care to either the nursing home administrator or filing a lawsuit? I've answered that question and more in my free book, The New York Guide to Nursing Home Litigation. I actually have written a book like that, but we actually tweaked it. It's not even about nursing home litigation. It's a consumer's guide to nursing homes, how to pick one, what happens if the care starts to go sour, how can you get the care fixed so that your loved one doesn't get hurt or injured. They then can give us first name and email, and in exchange they get an email back with a PDF of the book. You all can go, everyone who's on the call can go later. You can go to theaccidentbook.com and you can go through that sequence in our office if you'd like. You'll get a free copy of our book. What happens is that gets delivered. Basically we say, hey, we've got more. We've got CD, DVD, if you'd like a hard copy of the book. Just give us the rest of your contact information. So it gets a little comprehensive and complex there. And part of that is how they then answer our questions. Like, is it just a lawyer who's on this call who just wants to see the book? Fine. That you will see a different set of responsive emails than someone who says, oh, I've actually been injured in a car accident in Virginia. And so that's with all marketing. We want to attract their attention, keep them interested long enough, make them, Sean, what we call an irresistible offer. In our cases, it tends to be books, white papers, things like that on the internet, and start to build trust because we're giving them good information for free, and we're trading. We're getting first name and email address. That's kind of cosmetic, all right? If you look, so we work closely with Foster Web Marketing. If you go to fosterwebmarketing.com and look at they have sort of a portfolio of clients and kind of troll through those sites, you'll see those sites doing pretty much what I've just explained.